All right, here we go. We're going to be doing essentially just substitution here, evaluating exponential functions. In reality, we're only talking about substitution, the same thing you've been doing, like 3x plus 2. So here, to actually color coordinate, my answer box should have been in green. Here we go. So over here on A, we've already got most of the steps written out. That's because this is the thing, these are the things each step that are not changing. What's changing is when x equals 3. So notice how x is here in the original function, so I'm just going to plug a 3 there instead. So the first thing we do is we go through all of our parentheses and we do what's inside of it. Well, I can't get rid of the parentheses around the 5 because that's actually meaning multiplication to that -2. But there's nothing else to do to that 3. I'm giving it to the group of 5, so I can just drop the parentheses around the 3. Now I have -2 times 5 to the third. Now that third is given to everything inside the parentheses. So this is the same thing as 5 to the first and to the third. And that means I'm taking 5 right here. I'm just taking 5 to the 1 times 3, which means I'm getting 5 to the third, which means I have an answer of 125. -2 times positive 125 is going to have a negative answer. 125 times 2 is 250. And there we go. We filled in all of our blanks. All the parts that stayed the same between each step was in blue, and how it was affected was what's affecting it and how it's affected are the green in between. So we're going to do the same thing here. Here we got x is equal to -2. And again, I'm going to go ahead and color coordinate a little bit better. There we go. So we got to get a final answer down here, and all we're going to do is substitute by realizing x was here as our exponent, so I'm going to put -2 in there instead. Simplify all of my expressions, which means this -2 belongs to that 0.5, the same way it belonged to the 5 over on the other one. And I'm going to realize that this is the same thing as 3 times 0.5 to the -2. Only thing to the negative power means we're actually going to move it. If it was in the denominator, it goes up to the numerator. It's in the numerator, so it's going to go to the denominator. Now 0.5 squared is 0.25. And if I take a calculator, I could solve this. I could also solve it just by turning 0.25 into a fraction and following my rules. It ends up being 12. So here we found out by substitution, if we take that -2 and plug it into the function that's given, we find that the output is 12. And on A, we found that the output was -250 when we had x equals 3 and plugged that into our function and worked everything through.